Mario Cuomo, dubbed the Hamlet on the Hudson, remembered tonight as a man dedicated to the people of the state of New York. Cuomo died yesterday afternoon of heart failure in his Manhattan home at the age of 82. Tonight, his work speaking for himself, a look back at his life and legacy.
His intensity was throughout and overwhelming.
Stan Lundeen was Mario Cuomo's lieutenant governor over 2 terms. The former Jamestown mayor called the late governor hardworking with absolute integrity.
He was deeply committed to trying to improve the economy and the life of people in Western New York.
And it was a daunting task at the time, Cuomo leading during 2 recessions and one of the most crippling issues in the state, the shutdown of the Bethlehem steel plant in Lackawanna.
He and I both went through a real tough time in the history of the city of Buffalo and County of Erie in New York State with the pullout of Bethlehem Steel. I recall he put together a $1 million retraining program for the steel workers in Western New York.
Ed Rakowski, Erie County executive at the time, remembers Cuomo getting the cold shoulder when he came to announce the retraining program to a room full of steel workers.
As we walked in, instead of a good reception, you could just about hear a pin drop because these people were very concerned about the future of their livelihood. And I think in his book, that made a profound, memorable impression upon him, and he never forgot that.
Current Erie County Executive Mark Polenkars was a teenager living in Lackawanna when he heard the late governor mention Bethlehem Steel on a national stage. Cuomo spoke of it during his 1984 keynote speech at the Democratic National Convention.
My father, his friends, pretty much everyone's parents and fathers that I knew worked at the steel mill, so it was a really bad time, and that speech gave us hope that someone cared about us, that someone did really believe that there was a chance for a better future as long as we focused on those issues.
Lundeen remembers those tough economic times. Revenues were down and expenses up. But he says the late governor did the best he could, and he fondly remembers those years working alongside him.
Mario Cuomo was very intense. He worked hard day and night, but he had a sense of humor. We got along great.
Cuomo's sense of humor has been brought up by many who have worked with him. Tim Clark, the late governor's Western New York regional representative, recalls a story when the two were leaving a local event.
He got in the car and he turned to his assistants and said, "Rob, any messages?" And he says, "Yes, you have an urgent call to Lee Iacocca, and then we also, your wife is looking for you also." He says, "Get my wife on the phone." So he knew his priorities, that's for sure.